Okay, this is what we're dealing with today. We got a hotel that we do work for, and we installed a dehumidifier for their pool room. Right here. With the vents. So there's the return on the wall. Supplies up here. And kind of shields the windows. We got the call saying it wasn't working. So, and they also said they cleaned the condenser off this morning, which is still wet from that. So then I'm looking at, okay, well, let's start out at the filters. They were changed just the other day. So they've probably been having problems with this thing for a while because lack of maintenance. Now if you look, that condenser coil needs to be cleaned off. I gotta look at the evaporator coil still, but there's the evap coil there. Sight glass, TX, headmaster, filter dryer. I also got to clean that fresh air out. And as you can see, this plugged. May have a little oil staining on that insulation, so I'll check into that. But that condenser, this condenser coil has got to be cleaned. The one outside was already cleaned for the remote condenser. Check the belt. Belt's got a good tension on it. It's in good condition. Back there we got a receiver. Another headmaster. That's a condenser coil. Okay, there's our compressor. This one is a 6 or 7 ton unit. Three-phase POE oil. It's running 407. And I think the original reason why I got the call out here wasn't working, but they didn't change they didn't clean the condenser coil outside, so it went off on high head. So I got a high pressure switch right here. Click that, then my timer, 3 minutes on the timer. Well, it started right up. So basically, they got a service call for lack of maintenance. Gotta do your maintenance. So what I'll do is I'll get this condenser coil cleaned up, brush that off, spray it down, and then you know, as you see, these coils are black. These coils are specifically meant for this condition. It's high chlorine condition. It'll help the longevity with the coil. If you see a dehumidifier without a black coil or a painted coil, you know it's not for that specific application. You can see what it's doing to the copper. This unit's been in here for about 2-3 years, so you can see all the corrosion that's starting on everything. Usually dehumidifiers don't last in a commercial application more than 10 years without proper maintenance. I do have units that are 10 years old, over 10 years, and I maintain them so they actually still run. But let me get this cleaned up. I'm going to have to brush that out. I got to get into the other side, brush that out. I suppose I should pull this filter. And I don't know if you can see in there, but that evaporator coil is pretty clean. Okay, let me get started cleaning this up. Okay, we got this coil clean. I put some no rinse coil cleaner on it because I can't really drench this whole coil, but I brushed it off, got it clean. Well, let's get the door back on. And we'll start it up. Got a 3-minute delay on the compressor, so the compressor will come on in a few minutes here. See what we're reading right now, 87 degrees. So it's calling for cooling right now. No, it's not calling for any humidity because we're set at 50%. It's got to hit 55 to turn on. There goes the compressor. Here's our pressures. Running 407C. Okay. Nice clear sight glass, so I know I'm charged. It's in air conditioning because it's throwing hot gas outside. Get this door on. Also has electric heat, so we got 2 stages of electric heat. So when it calls for heat, this turns on. It can be dehumidifying, cooling, and heating at the same time. Well, not so much cooling, but dehumidifying and heating, or vice versa. So we'll let this go, let it run, see what it does. But I'm thinking that's all it was. It was a high pressure trip because they didn't clean the condenser like I tell them to do every year. So I think we're good on this one, but we'll go from there. Just want to let it run. Okay, as you can see, we got a little noise coming from the condenser. All it is a contactor, coil, and a motor. So
bottom of this and find out what's loose, where the motor's bad. Well, we got the fan blade off, you know, just making sure the fan blade wasn't humming or rubbing, and got all the bolts tightened up on the motor, which they weren't loose, but you know, let me turn the disconnect on here, get some power, but it still makes noise, so that motor's got to be replaced. Looks like the bearings are shot in the motor. And that is 1/2 horsepower, 208, 230, 460. Can't remember if this is 460 or not. 56 frame motor. So we'll get a cost, get it back together, at least get them some kind of dehumidification and cooling, and then shoot them a price for the motor and get back out here and replace it. So, alright, let me get it back together. Alright, we got it back together. As you can see, I've tightened up every nut and bolt on this thing and it still makes noise. So I know it's not something loose. But I mean, you can hear it. It sounds like the bearings are just going in the motor. It's just rattling. But I think that's it for this one. Got everything up and running, so take you back in here really quick, see what our pressures are. Pressures look good. Here's our two T775 controllers. This one's for temperature and this one's for humidity. So anytime you do a dehumidification job, you're going to have two controllers. These are what I recommend for dehumidification. These are the best controllers. We used to have a Medicus system in here and it just didn't work. You know, on the old piece equipment. The old piece equipment, there's no maintenance done on it and just rusted out, and so this is what we put in here. This is Dehumidifier Corporation of America. These are good units. Real good tech support. Ram and Rec over there at DCA. They know their stuff. Because anytime I have a problem with it, which I usually don't because it's a good piece of equipment, it's only maintenance wise that I have a problem. I call them up and they can help me troubleshoot it really quick. There's our duct heater, 460 volt. Have a little Amprobe air dehumidifier in this just for this room, just to keep the controls and everything and the dehumidifier nice and dry. It helps out a lot with rust. Get a lot of rust buildup on these units just because of the conditions it sits in. So I'm all set on this one. Thanks.